Kamdot Muvak, Nya Kelly Washington Imulik. Hello, my name is Kelly Washington, and I am the director of the Salt River Pima-Maricopa Indian Community Cultural Resources Department, or CRD for short. The CRD administration manages and oversees all divisions and programs within the department. The CRD administration is located at the eastern end of the tribal complex along Osborne Road. The Cultural Resources Department was created in 2005 by combining several previously existing programs. These programs all address culturally related issues, but were formerly organized under different tribal departments. This reorganization was just one component of the Tribal Council's greater vision for creating a structure that is more streamlined, more efficient, and more in tune with improving services to the community. In other words, it was reasoned that these cultural programs would flourish and function more effectively if combined into one cultural department. Under the CRD administration, the department is comprised of 4 separate programs with distinct focus areas: Cultural Preservation Program, Community Garden, Hooligan Ki Museum, and the O'odham Pipaj Language Program. I would like to introduce to you each of the CRD program managers who will share a little bit of information about the programs they manage.
Shubkites, Anya Shane Anton. Hello, my name is Shane Anton and I'm the Cultural Preservation Program Manager. The CPP is the tribally designated office responsible for identifying, protecting, and preserving cultural resources and all matters of cultural concern that are important to the community. This work is accomplished within the framework of federal, state, and tribal laws. The Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, NAGPRA, is an important federal law that was passed in November of 1990. NAGPRA is a 2-part law that allows tribes to claim and bring home their ancestors and certain artifacts that were removed from ancestral lands prior to 1990. The act of bringing home our ancestors' remains and artifacts is called repatriation. The second part of the NAGPRA law protects burials on federal lands from development occurring after 1990 and allows tribes to claim burials that are inadvertently discovered by development after 1990. The Cultural Preservation Program conducts consultations on behalf of the community to repatriate our ancestors and their belongings from museums, military installations, and repositories around the U.S. The CPP also consults with federal agencies to try and prevent development from impacting burials. The CPP also responds to situations where burials were impacted inadvertently or by unavoidable emergency actions. Annually, the Cultural Preservation Program coordinates and provides administrative support for the community's reburial ceremony, where our ancestors who have been returned home are laid to final disposition and protected in perpetuity. Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act, NHPA, is another federal law that protects different types of places that are important to the cultural continuation and well-being of the tribe. This includes archaeological sites, places where traditional activities still occur, and places where the people have traditionally harvested plants or other materials. The CPP is responsible for processing all incoming notifications and correspondence from various agencies in order to evaluate and implement an appropriate response to the potential projects. If a project plan impacts cultural resources, the Cultural Preservation Program conducts Section 106 consultation. This includes projects off the reservation that lie within our Aboriginal claims area, and if they are on federal land, paid for with federal money, or require a federal license. Another major function of the Cultural Preservation Program is to provide weekly cultural sensitivity training to employees and contractors that are associated with any ground-disturbing activities in the community. This mandatory training is designated to educate and inform people to recognize the unique cultural heritage of the SRPMIC, to recognize situations that threaten cultural resources, and what to do in situations where cultural resources may be disturbed. To date, more than 27,000 individuals have received this training.
I'm Jacob Butler. I'm the garden coordinator for the Salt River Pima-Maricopa Indian Community and Cultural Resource Department. For countless generations, the O'odham and Pipash practiced agriculture on a scale larger than other regional tribes. Agriculture is a unique and defining part of our cultural heritage. When the rivers were dammed and diverted at the turn of the 19th century, most tribal members stopped growing their own foods. Soon thereafter, obesity and chronic diseases such as diabetes became rampant. It is the ultimate goal to inspire and support tribal members growing their own healthy native and traditional foods again. The community garden was born out of a collaborative grant effort, originally under the Community Development Department. In 2005, the garden project migrated to the new Cultural Resource Department, under the management of the Cultural Preservation Program. At that point, the community garden focused its efforts to preserving, growing, and educating tribal members about native and traditional foods. Today, the community garden is located on the southeast corner of the old day school campus. One of the primary functions of the community garden is to acquire, propagate, and preserve a diverse collection of seeds of native and traditional plant varieties. Many of the traditionally cultivated O'odham and Pipash plants are in danger of extinction. Unless conscious efforts are made to sustain them, they may be lost. The Community Garden Seed Bank has returned many food plants to the community that have been absent for a long time. These seeds are made available to community members who want to establish their own home gardens and personal seed banks. Traditional canal farming simply isn't feasible for most tribal members today, so it is now necessary to combine traditional knowledge with contemporary practices that are best suited for current lifestyles. Another important purpose of the community garden is to demonstrate a variety of systems and techniques that tribal members can use at home, according to their individual circumstances. Of course, the community garden is also the source of new seeds for the seed bank. Every year, the community garden staff assists community members, schools, and programs with establishing new gardens. The intent is to help them get started and provide continued support in the form of information and guidance. Once established, however, it is the garden owner's responsibility to take care of it. Hard work, dedication, and responsibility are lessons learned when maintaining a garden. These are qualities the community garden strives to cultivate. When not in the field, the community garden staff are frequently providing classes, presentations, and other educational programming to SRP and MIC members, schools, and programs.
Gary Owens Jr. The Hooligan Ki Museum is the oldest division in the Cultural Resources Department. The museum was established by tribal leadership led by Alfreda Antone in 1987 to preserve valued aspects of the community's cultural heritage for present and future generations. The historic structure that houses the museum is the last community building constructed using traditional materials and methods. Most of the original construction materials were collected locally or donated. One of the primary functions of any museum is to collect artifacts and information related to its mission. The Hooligan Ki Museum actively collects objects that are of historical, artistic, and cultural interest to the community. This collection is a tangible record of our people. What sets museums apart from other collectors is the professional care, documentation, and conservation the collections receive. Museums are bound by an established set of professional and legal ethics and practices. In the year 2005, the museum started to collect archival materials that are important to the community. Archival collections consist of photographs, audio-video recordings, books, and documents, including the new digital forms. This distinct collection is cared for by our staff archivists. Museum repositories are specialized buildings where collections are carefully housed when not on display. Repositories are designed to control or mitigate things that can damage a collection, such as theft, fire, light, temperature, humidity, pests, and pollutants. The interim Hooligan Ki Museum repository is located south of the old day school. A new state-of-the-art repository is being constructed north of the day school that will provide much needed space for our growing collection. Some of the objects in the museum collection are used to create educational exhibits for museum visitors. Exhibits tell the stories and share the knowledge associated with the collections and are the primary reason people visit museums. There are many different stories to tell, so exhibits change regularly. Every year, thousands of people from all over the world visit our museum with an interest to learn about the community and the unique heritage of the O'odham and Pipash. The museum is often the primary interface between the community and the general public. Educational programming for tribal members was one of the most important aspects of the Hooligan Ki Museum. The museum is dedicated to the perpetuation of the knowledge and lifestyle of the Onakimaro and the Khalchadom Bipash. We just don't share information about the way things used to be. Rather, we strive to teach tribal members about cultural practices so they can carry them forward.
Luis Baragan Banchugig Chormarion and Vuhajid Hug Autumn All Bapnyokutki Mohabucho Hug Him Dak Vumtadaki Mandahus Haichubochui Abamjid Hukatachik Pania Kamulu Stick Nya Luis Baragani Muliak Ayun Quivia Gavashao Shadum Khotam Niyum. Hello, my name is Luis Baragan and I'm the manager of the Autumn Pipash language program. The Autumn Pipash language program officially began in 1995 under the Salt River Pima-Maricopa Indian Community Education Department. At that time, the community began to recognize that our native languages are in danger and deliberate efforts are necessary for their survival. In 2005, the OPLP became part of the Cultural Resource Department and has since focused on community-based language revitalization efforts. Once established, the Autumn Pipash language program began to develop lesson plans and established community language classes for tribal members. Language instruction continues to be a primary function of the program today. Spring and fall community-based language classes are scheduled twice a week. The program also provides ongoing classes for preschool students of the Early Enrichment Program and Senior Services. Additionally, the OPLP provides intermittent language classes and activities for other community departments and programs upon request. Aside from language classes, the OPLP coordinates a variety of activities designed to encourage language learning and language use. Autumn Pipash bingo games are scheduled quarterly to reinforce basic vocabulary. Every summer, cultural classes such as singing, dancing, beading, basket weaving, and others are provided along with relevant language lessons. Classes such as this make language learning more enjoyable and less intimidating. Another important and time-consuming function of the Autumn Pipash language program is language documentation. It is important to record and document elder speakers as much as possible while we still can. The program hosts monthly Autumn and Pipash elder gatherings and conducts regular one-on-one interviews with individual speakers. Rarely used words are documented, so they are forever preserved. Longer discourses are recorded so present and future language learners can hear the languages spoken naturally. Documentation is also important for analyzing and understanding complex grammatical information. The elder speakers also assist the program by reviewing translation requests and materials developed by the program for community use. The Autumn Pipash language program recognizes that many tribal members today have limited exposure to the Autumn and Pipash languages and may not be able to attend the scheduled classes. Therefore, it is important to develop and provide a variety of language learning and language resource materials, as well as explore new ways to distribute them. The OPLP has developed a website as a new means for providing language content. At present, the website includes information about the Autumn and Pipash alphabets with audio examples. Phrasebooks have been digitized and are now accessible on the website along with audio content. Web-based dictionaries are currently being developed for both languages and are expected to be available by the end of 2019. New avenues such as social media and app development are actively being explored, and the OPLP is working towards providing language materials and lessons on digital platforms for community members.
The Cultural Resources Department is dedicated to the mission of protecting, preserving, and revitalizing the distinct histories, languages, and cultures of the O'odham and Pipash. The department fully recognizes the importance of our mission, yet also recognizes that no single government department can save a culture or a language. Ultimately, cultural preservation is the responsibility of the entire tribal organization from top to bottom. Most importantly, it is the responsibility of every single tribal member. We thank you for your continued support. Anish dotam etum, yudncha.